But anyway, that's the weather update. But it's looking up now until tomorrow when we have a chance of more severe weather. And then it's going to snow again.
Well, that was the weather. This is my show. Let's now go to sports. And last night at at Madison Square Garden for the NBA. Let's go to the NBA side of things. We'll get to spring training after this. The Knicks played basketball, but they were not the main event. Did you see what was happening last night at the game?
Well, apparently, as Big Bad John said one time, face to face, they faced each other. Apparently, from what I understand, and it could be two unrelated incidents, but Tracy Morgan, famous comedian and survivor of the New Jersey Turnpike, was on one side of the basketball court, and Vince McMahon, disgraced former pro wrestling entrepreneur, was on the other side of the court. And Tracy Morgan took a good look at him and lost his fucking lunch all over the floor. And they had to carry Tracy Morgan out. Were these incidents connected or unrelated?
We don't know for sure. I mean, a part of me thinks that maybe Vince turned to the person he was with and said, he's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. I don't know that happened, though. I'd like to believe it did. Vince McMahon, of course, it was St. Patrick's Day, and he's proud of being Irish. He was all in green. I've never seen him look like this before, except for his Sputnik Monroe flash of white hair.
Now Sputnik's was more controlled in a particular area. Vince's kind of looked more like he's fucking the skunk that Pepe Le Pew thought we was chasing, the cat that crawled under the white fence, is what I'm trying to say. But now here's the question. When Vince looked over there and saw Tracy Morgan puking, did he say, good puke, Shelton?
Was he upset that he was no longer the main?
Yo, you didn't put that over. For heaven's sake.
You know what? Hold on. It took me a second to realize exactly what you were saying there. Oh my God, yes. For anyone who doesn't know, for anyone who doesn't know, Vince McMahon famously in a company-wide, a roster-wide meeting was taking questions from the wrestlers. And who was it who spoke up? Do you remember?
You know what? That's the only part of the story I can't remember. It was another one of the African-American wrestlers that was on the roster, but hadn't been there as long as Shelton had. And when the guy asked the question, Vince said out in front of everybody, good question, Shelton.
Well, again, Vince McMahon at the game. Do you think he was mad that he was no longer the thing that everyone was talking about? He was sitting courtside. You don't sit courtside if you don't want to be noticed. And he was wearing all green.
Yeah.
This weird 80-year-old man in all green shows up. Looks like a leprechaun at this point.
Well, weird and 80 years old, but well-groomed leprechaun shows up behind the court of, which bench was he behind? Was he on the home team or what was going on there?
You know, I didn't actually see the game. I think it was the away team. And now that I think about it, based on the way he was dressed, maybe he's trying to win back the love of his child Hornswoggle. I don't know, but...
Well, and Tracy Morgan, he's a New York guy, right?
Oh, big
he
Knicks
would have been
fan.
on the
big Knicks.
Yeah,
fan.
he would have been on the side of the home team, so they're on opposite sides of each other. And when they got the shot of Vince, apparently they showed him on whoever was telecasting this game, and the Chiron's a former wrestling promoter,
current pervert.
I was about to say there was a lot of people on Twitter saying maybe they didn't Google Vince before they announced his current occupation or status.
Maybe this is a setup. Maybe this is like something he set up for the cameras. We're in New York, Madison Square Garden. What speaks of Vince McMahon and the McMahon family more than that? Maybe he has a new thing he's starting up, Puke Stars, where he gets famous celebrities just vomit while he does commentary over it.
No, and to be fair to poor Tracy Morgan, apparently now there's pictures of him with the thumbs up in the hospital. They said it was food poisoning. I don't know. They may have left unsaid. Did he have any? Well, did he have it? It was since he was behind the Knicks bench desk. I was going to say bench. Do you think he was in there catering it? Is there a lawsuit going to happen there? Because he just somewhere he ate right before the Garden didn't agree with him. but we're glad he's well. And meanwhile, we're still not sure how many other people puked just because Vince was there. But it's Madison Square Garden, so he had no problem knowing somebody to get courtside tickets. But I would,
yeah,
I guess that's why he couldn't be on the home team, because those are all reserved for the more important people.
Again, lots of people go to those games. Lots of famous people sit courtside at various NBA games all around the country all year long. But this is the second time we've seen him in public since appearing like on the field at the Super Bowl. He's not hiding, and he's almost going out of his way to be seen, it would appear.
Well, think about this also. This is the most times he's been seen in public that wasn't related to his work since 1984. Where else did you ever see Vince go anywhere to do anything? That's he obviously wants to let people know at least he's still alive and ambulatory, but I don't know what other kind of publicity.
He's like David Bowie. Every time you see him, he looks different now. Every time. It could be weeks apart. Yeah. He looks like a different person.
Well, is he, at least he's left what would that have been, the Ziggy Stardust phase of his life and moved on to, or maybe it was Aladdin Sane.
Well, here's the other thing. Speaking of sanity, he's dressed up all in green on St. Patrick's Day. Did he just come into the city? Maybe he was staying in the city, but did he just come out of the apartment for the Knicks game? Or was he out at the bar? Did he have like a big who goes to a big St. Patrick's Day dinner in like a fancy restaurant all dressed in green? I don't know.
He's 80 years old. You think he's going to go out on the town and bar hop to the various Irish pubs around the neighborhood?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. What was his night? What do you think his night was like, considering what he was dressed up like to sit courtside at the Knicks game?
I think he probably was either having a dinner with a few particular confidants before or after that, and he was probably dressed because he knew that they were going to see him.
We'll call them confidants now.
Yeah.
Better than egg.
Or unindicted co-conspirators, perhaps.
Yeah.
Confidants.
Well, we'll see what happens. But
he knew he was dressed like that because he knew he's going to this fucking ball game, and in his mind. But I didn't see a wide shot, so I'm sure his shoes weren't green. He didn't go that far, but it was still, it was expensive green shit. It wasn't like a goddamn, a pleather outfit that the local weatherman puts on for St. Patrick's Day. It was expensive green shit, but.
Yeah, Walt Clyde Frazier looked over at him and said, "This guy's dressed like an idiot."
Don't you dare. Clyde was one of my inspirations.
Well, that is the Vince McMahon on the town report. We've covered so many different areas, weather, sports, and now society. Back to you, Jim.